So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
20, like 20.
Brady gives now to Blunt. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Here's the 11 starters on defense for Buffalo. And the new coaching staff really coming in. They can look at two numbers, kind of yin and yang. They're good against the pass, 6th in the league. 29th, though, against the run.
Well, if you look at this new coaching staff that has taken over in Buffalo and trace their past, it starts with them stopping the...
Trying to squeeze it into Edelman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And they will finally catch him, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Oh, he's got it going early in this one. That's the Shady McCoy. That's vintage right there, right? Breaking tackles, creating explosive runs. And if they don't take care of this early, look out. This guy's got a big, big day.
You know where he got that nickname Shady, by the way?
I know you're going to educate me on it. Help me out.
Mama gave him that name when he was a youngster.
And if Mama named him Shady, we're going to call him Shady.
Absolutely.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Taylor. And Woods has got it. Buffalo touchdown. Robert Woods, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Bills have taken the early lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Here come the Patriots again on offense, the Super Bowl champions. And, boy, they have been able to do it a lot of times, Charles, with unsung heroes, haven't they? Look at the names that led them through the playoffs. Hogan, White, Lewis, guys you just wouldn't think of.
Yeah, Deion Lewis, a 5th-round pick, 3 touchdowns against Houston in the divisional round. Chris Hogan, undrafted. He ends up having 180 yards in receptions, including 5 plays of 20 yards or more against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how about James White, a 4th-round pick out of Wisconsin? Think about who he played behind while he was at Wisconsin, and he turns out to be the unsung hero of the Super Bowl. Would have been the MVP if it wasn't for Tom Brady.
And you mentioned James White at Wisconsin. He was behind who? Melvin Gordon and Monte Ball, right?
That's correct.
Unable to get it to Gronkowski that time. And it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Here's Brady. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
If post pattern is often equated as a change-up route, how about when you throw it to your big guy down the center of the field? Covered or not, you have great confidence he's going to come down with the football. And when he does, as we just saw, long gains often result.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster. It all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Brady trying to squeeze it into Edelman, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Let's go.
Now a 1st down carry here for McCoy. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. For McCoy this year, 5th time in his 8-year career that he's topped the 1,000-yard mark. Charles, first time he's done it with the Bills, though, finished with 1,267.
And he's the type of player that you can build around. And what I mean by that is as a runner, as a pass catcher, he does a little bit of everything, and he opens up the offense for everyone else around him, the complementary players. But he's a guy, heavy-duty ball carrier, and also get him in space, and he can break people down.
Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards.
Let's go.
Here's Taylor to throw. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
He's going to let this one go deep. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, now 4th down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
Here we go. 38.
They'll try and throw for it with Taylor.
Well, good luck with that.
Oh, my goodness. That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Ooh.
They get the young quarterback going, and that defense continues to live up to expectations. They can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 7.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And he will find his man. That's Hogan, complete. And 12 yards that time and picking up the 1st.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. They come out here in the eye. Brady gives this one to Lewis. Stiff-armed him. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Again, it's Lewis. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. A couple of Bills team up to bring him down there.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
This is Lewis. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense.
And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
Brady to throw on 2nd down. He's got time in the pocket. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back to Buffalo after this. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now Brady. He's got time. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Brady not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it here on 4th.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Give him 28 yards on that one. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there?
Yeah.
Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing? He was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal 2nd. That would have been fun to watch. After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Play action. Now it's Brady. And that's incomplete. Looking for his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski, and it's 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And the seemingly endless drive continues. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Brady now to throw. That's caught at the 1. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Chris Hogan, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And he comes back with 1 complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 2nd down, here's Taylor. The pass complete to Justin Hunter. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Airing it out deep for Woods. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Okay, partners, New England comes out here to take the field on offense. And this is such an interesting story, how they've been able to do it year after year after year. Guys talk about parity in the NFL. Well, New England has kind of transcended that parity, and they've done it with guys that you don't normally think of as household names.
The parts keep changing for New England. That's the amazing part. On offense, all right? Offensive linemen change, receivers change, running backs change. We know the one constant is Tom Brady, and that's a huge deal for them. But to be able to do it in what you call the parity times, and you're exactly right, everyone's supposed to be pretty equal. New England still a top 10 offense year in and year out. In 2016, they were number 4, and that helped them with a number 1 ranked defense as well.
8 yards on the run there, and that trims it to a 3rd and 11 coming up. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They try again with Lewis. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the Patriots will turn it over to their left-footed punter. That's Ryan Allen to kick it away. Back deep here is Brandon Tate. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half. It's Taylor. He's going to let it go again. And this one is incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And here's Lewis. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drive.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Come on, let's go.
They'll indeed go for it. It's Taylor. And this is caught. That's Watkins. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
Yeah, they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. To throw is Taylor. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. Watkins alone on the left side. Here we go on 4th down with Taylor. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Patriots take over, and they're going to have terrific field position. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Tie game, but they'll get excellent starting field position here to begin the second half.
And it's the starting field position that makes an offensive coordinator maybe bolder than normal. Maybe you want to take the big shot right now. Go for a big play and get their attention early, or even just run your offense because you feel good about where you are and a chance to move the ball downfield.
Yeah, maybe they go for the big play. Time to find out. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now Lewis. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And they're going to speed things up here. They run. This is Lewis. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They come out here in the eye. To throw is Brady, eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Zach Brown in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Gronkowski, slot left. Brady to throw on 2nd down. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Kyle Williams in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. On 3rd and long, it's Brady. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
So they don't get a touchdown here on this opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think you still say mission accomplished as they come away from it with the lead.
Absolutely. You've got to apply the pressure here, make the other guys play catch-up for a while, and now you just hope your defense can step up and protect the lead.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2.
Come on, let's go! Brand 38!
Now it's Taylor. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd.
Let's go!
Taylor now to throw on 3rd down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. A 3-yard gain and enough for the 1st down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. On 1st down, it's Taylor. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Sammy Watkins, 65 yards. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get the top speed and complete that play.
This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time, able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They come out here in the eye. Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. Now a play fake. Brady surveying the field. Got a man. It's Amendola. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic. So anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do, and if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude it? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Now they'll run run with Lewis. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Yeah, give him 4 yards. There, it'll be 2nd and 6. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Now a carry for Blunt. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
He'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And after the nice stiff arm, the next wave swarms in quickly for the stop.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Off the toss, Lewis. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Dion Lewis taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Patriots have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. And here come the Bills. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. They'll look to throw. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. 14 yards that time for number 14. And quickly, they get to the line. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll come out in the pistol. Back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. So 2nd and 10 here. Watkins alone on the left side. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion.
Come on, let's go. 38.
Now it's Taylor. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And Carpenter knocks it through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. I'll tell you, he better not rest on his laurels because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right? I
agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Back to throw, Brady. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Second down following the incompletion. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And the Bills getting set to go. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Watkins alone on the left side. First throw in overtime now for Taylor. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he will find his man on the outside. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now Taylor to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. So a second down incompletion now brings up 3rd down.
Here we go.
Taylor will throw again. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Taylor with a give to McCoy. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. 2 Patriots there to bring him down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here we go.
On second down, Taylor. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9.
Let's go.
Now it's Taylor. And got him in. It's Woods. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Watkins alone on the left side. Now a play fake. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. So the game-winning touchdown came through the air in overtime. 4 quarters wasn't enough. We were treated to a really good one, weren't we, partner?
That we were, and I just love being able to be witness to a game like this all the way through. Who's going to win it? Oh, what? We're getting overtime? Great for us. A lot attention on the field. Very tough. Not a surprise it ended with a passing touchdown. That's the way we play in the NFL. But the execution was pretty darn good.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Bills are victorious as we say so long from Buffalo.
All up in my face, you're not from the clique. Give me